Hi, yet another important video from the course Digital Signal Processing. It's all about FIR filter design. A very important equation that has to be looked back while deriving the expression for while designing a FIR filter. So basically four conditions: the frequency response of that impulse response, which is symmetrical with the filter length being odd for the time being, and we'll have another combination. The impulse response may be symmetrical with the length of the filter being even, like that. Asymmetrical, even. Asymmetrical, odd. For the time being, it's symmetrical impulse response and the length of the filter being odd. Let's see how the equation, where we reach for the equation, how the frequency response looks like, what that equation. Somehow during the process we'll reach to that point where we have that impulse response h of n. Okay, we will have that h of n, and how to obtain the frequency response? It's simply converting the n domain to time domain to frequency domain, isn't it? H of n, it's a time domain, so how to convert that to frequency domain? Simply the Fourier transform, one of the important tool, Fourier transform. This h of n is multiplied with e raised to minus j omega n, and if it would have in t continuous time, that we would have come across integration. No, it's a discrete n, so we'll have to go for the summation. Usually the Fourier transform is for n equal to minus infinite to plus infinite. No, we are considering the finite impulse responses, finite. So that isn't infinite, positive infinite to negative infinite. It's all about n equal to 0 to n minus 1, which gives h of this process, which gives h of omega. Right, so a small rearrangement in the summation, h of omega is equal to a small rearrangement over here, guys. Splitting, we are talking about symmetrical, right? We have to find that point of symmetry. So let this be n equal to, let it start from n equal to 0 to n minus 3 by 2 h of n e raised to minus j omega n plus h of n minus 1 by 2 e raised to minus j omega n minus 1 by 2. This will be the center of symmetry. Let's check. Plus, going ahead with the summation, n equal to summation n equal to n plus 1 by 2 to n minus 1, n minus 1, h of n e raised to minus j omega n. So guys, the summation could be split like this one. We need to have all the terms, all the n terms from n equal to 0 to n minus 1. Let's check. Any random number for odd number, let that be n equal to 9, n equal to 9. So what are the impulses we have? It will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and n minus 1, it's a 8. Right, so this will be the where 9 total. So this should be the center of symmetry, and we have these summation. The first summation should have these n values, and the second summation should have these values. Let's check. So starting from n equal to 0, okay, done, n equal to 0. So n, this one, n minus 3 by 2, n is 9 minus 3 by 2, it's a 6 by 2, so we have 3, of course. Yeah, this summation contains n equal to 0 to 3 of this one. Okay, and the center one, n minus 1 by 2, it's a 9 minus 1 by 2, 8 by 2, it's a 4, of course. N equal to 4 we have over here. So what is this? We have n equal to 0 to 3 over here. It's proved. N equal to 4, and this should be n equal to 5 to 8. Let's see that. This one, n plus 1 by 2, it's a 9 plus 1 by 2, it's a 10 by 2, which is equal to 5. Of course, this summation will be from 5 to n minus 1, that's 8. Yeah, we have all the terms. So this is a, guys, check for n equal to some other odd number. This is general form. Okay, so n equal to 7, check it for n equal to 7 or n equal to 11, and drop the comment if it's wrong. No, it's right. Okay, this is how we split the summation for n equal to odd. Now focusing on this one. Okay, focusing on this summation. Symmetry somehow we'll have to bring to this one. And yes, symmetrical impulse response. So what condition do we have? If it's a symmetry, what condition do we have? It's the symmetry condition says the impulse response h of this one n minus 1 minus n will be equal to h of n if it's symmetry. Antisymmetric, that's some other condition. Okay, so if we have h of n minus 1 minus n, that could be plugged in with h of n, and according to the requirement, according to the modifications, if we have h of n, that could be plugged in with that one. So focusing on this summation for the time being, what is that summation? It's a summation n equal to n plus 1 by 2 to n minus 1, isn't it? So now we are talking about symmetry. So h of n can be plugged in with this one, h of n minus 1 minus n, and e raised to minus j omega n. Okay, so guys, this one in the bracket, h of n for the summation, like going for another index, some change in plugging in some other index over here. Let that be, let n minus 1 minus n length of the filter, and for different impulses, let that be k. Okay, and this says from here, so what will be n? Will be need of n in the equation. It's a n minus 1 minus k. What did I do? Just shifting this one to that side and this one to this side. So that gives. Okay, so guys, a small exercise over here. This summation as it is. No, not as it is. Okay, I'm not talking about the summation for the time being. Now n minus 1 minus n is thought for k, right? So h of k. Okay, so guys, now if this is plugged in, the summation isn't for n anymore, that should be for k. If we have h of n, okay, that would have been for n. No, we have h of k, so there will be a change in the limits also. So how to get that change in the limits? Considering this very expression. Okay, so going back, what do we have over here? N minus 1 minus n equal to k. Now this equation gives us if what is the limits, lower limit and upper limit. When n equal to n plus 1 by 2, it's complete by 2. Okay, when n equal to n plus 1 by 2, what is the k value? So n minus 1 minus, when n equal to n plus 1 by 2, n plus 1 by 2, what is the k value? So it's 2. Okay, finding the LCM, 2 times of n, 2n, cross multiplying, isn't it? Minus 2 minus of n minus 1, which is equal to k. So over here, what? 2n minus n, that's n minus 2 minus 1 minus 3 by 2. So guys, when n will be starting from n plus 1 by 2 whole by 2, okay, n plus 1 by 2, k will be starting from n equal to n minus 3, it's a 3, n minus 3 by 2. So this will be the case. So it's no more n, it's a k will be running from n minus 3 whole by 2. Okay, so this is the first limit. Okay, so what about the second limit? From this very expression we can have that. What is the second limit? It's a n equal to n minus 1. So n minus 1 from here, minus of n equal to n minus 1, n minus 1, which is equal to k. So n minus 1 minus n minus 1, isn't it? So the k will be equal to 0, in the sense n will be running from, when this one, when n is running from n plus 1 by 2 to n minus 1, k will be running from n minus 3 by 2 to 0 from that very expression, and e raised to minus j omega n value from here, this gives us n value. So n equal to n minus 1 minus k. So guys, so this is the transformation from this summation to this summation. Okay, so remember this one, this is very important. Yeah, we'll have to make use of this one to simplify the above summation. Okay, so guys, 3 plus 2 plus 1 plus 0, 0 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3, it's same, right? It's addition, so no change if we go forward or if we come backward. that isn't written. So this one, okay, exercising only the third term, I'm not bothering these two terms for the time being, only the third term. So this could be rewritten again as summation k equal to 0 to n minus 3 by 2 h of k e raised to minus j omega n minus 1 minus k. Okay, so guys, here k is just an index. It's just an index. It's just an index that could be plugged in with that isn't a big deal if we go for k equal to n. That could be plugged in back with k equal to n. Okay, so this takes the form with, if that is the case, it's just a index, so k with n can be plugged in. So the summation takes the form summation n equal to 0 to n minus 3 by 2, okay, h of n e raised to minus j omega n minus 1 minus n. Okay, so this is the transformation over here, right? So guys, a small exercise over here on this one. No, not now. Coming back to this h of omega. So how that it is? H of omega will be equal to, so this one, let's take it outside first. H of n minus 1 by 2, okay, e raised to minus j omega n minus 1 by 2. That's it, this one. Okay, let me erase this so that it will be easier for me to explain. Done. Plus, so guys, now this is of this one only. We are talking about this one. Okay, this one, this one, right? This took the transformation, this one, so I'm considering this one. Okay, so in that case, guys, can you say this? Summation is common. Summation is common. H of n is common. So that could be taken out from here. It's the first summation is n equal to 0 to n minus 3 by 2. Even this is n equal to 0 to n minus 3 by 2. The summation n equal to 0 to n minus 3 by 2. Even h of n can be taken out. H of n and h of n. Close the big brackets here, and we have e raised to minus j omega n from here, right, plus e raised to minus j omega n minus 1 minus n from this term. Close the big brackets over here, over here. Okay, so this is the transformation. Now a small exercise on the exponential term which is at the LHS over here. This one, a small exercise on this. This takes another form. This, which one? This exponential can be transformed to, guys, somehow we'll have to take out this e raised to minus j omega n minus 1 by 2 as common from here and over here. Okay, so a small transformation over here. This could be written as here the first exponential e raised to minus j omega n into 1, isn't it? We have 1 over there. So this could be written as e raised to minus j omega n as it is, and e raised to minus j omega n minus 1 by 2 multiplied into e raised to this one, j omega n minus 1 by 2. Okay, so when bases are same, powers must be added. Minus of this one plus of this one, that becomes 0. E raised to 0, that's 1. We'll get back to this one. Okay, so in that case something can be taken out as common. We are trying to take out this one, e raised to minus j omega n minus 1 by 2 entire. Okay, this by entire n minus 1 whole by 2 into e raised to, guys, minus j omega n, minus j omega as common from this one and this one. That gives us big brackets. Okay, negative has come out. We have n, and negative has come out, so we have another negative over here, minus of n minus 1 whole by 2. Okay, this is the transformation of this one. Okay, now even this exponential can be written like this one, e raised to minus j omega n minus 1 minus n, isn't it? We have this one, so that takes the form e raised to, here multiplying j omega n and into e raised to minus j omega n minus 1, right? Splitting this exponential. And what do we have? This can be written as e raised to j omega n, no change in that one, e raised to minus j omega n minus 1 whole by 2 into e raised to minus j omega n minus 1 whole by 2. It's a half, isn't it? When these two halves are added, we have that complete n minus 1, right? N minus 1 by 2 plus n minus 1 by 2, that gives us n minus 1, and so this can be written like this one. And what can be taken out as common? It's a e raised to minus j omega n minus 1 by 2 as common from this one, and adding these two, what do we have? E raised to j omega n, no, not yet, j omega as common, and open the big brackets here, omega j e raised to j omega n over here, n, and what do we have? It's a minus this negative, this positive has come out, negative n minus 1 by 2. Here, this is the transformation. Okay, so this could be plugged in with something else, and this could be plugged in with something else over here. So h of omega, that will be h of n minus 1 whole by 2 e raised to minus j omega n minus 1 whole by 2 plus the summation running from n equal to 0 to n minus 3 by 2 whole by 2. H of n is also the same from the previous expression. Close the big brackets. What do we have? This e of e raised to minus j omega n has taken this form. What is that? E raised to minus j omega n minus 1 whole by 2 into e raised to minus j omega, close the bracket, n minus 1 whole by 2. Okay, so this is from the first one, plus we have this one, we have this is the term e raised to, so what is that? The second exponential took the form e raised to minus j omega n minus 1 by 2, isn't it? N minus 1 by 2 into e raised to j omega n minus 1 by 2. Okay, this is the transformation which we had. Close the big brackets here, right? So h of omega, and guys, something can be taken out as common from all the terms. Watch carefully, right? From the three terms, something can be taken out. That exponential is common in all the terms. Which exponential is common? It's h of omega, which is equal to, guys, this one, e raised to minus j omega n minus 1 from this one, and from this one, and from this one also. Three terms, isn't it? From this one, e raised to from this one. So from the first term, e raised to minus j omega n minus 1 whole by 2, this one, from here. So close the bracket, right? So what do we have? It's a over here, this has come out, we have h of n minus 1 whole by 2. Okay, exponential has come out, plus over here a summation n equal to 0 to n minus 3 whole by 2. Okay, and h of n, we have that h of n, close the bracket, another bracket for this one. E raised to minus j omega n by 2 has come out as common. So what do we have? E raised to exponential raised to minus j omega, what is that? n minus 1 by 2 over here, okay, plus e raised to, this has come out, okay, this has come out, we took this away as common from all the terms, this has come out. So we are left with that one, e raised to j omega of n minus 1 by 2, okay. So this is the expression, total expression for h of omega. Guys, remember Euler's identity in terms of exponential. What is cos theta? According to Euler's identity, cos theta is equal to e raised to j theta plus e raised to minus j theta by 2, right? So whatever theta, we need to have theta positive and negative, and we need to have this positive over here. We have this positive, okay, and this entire here minus j theta, we have this one, plus j theta, it's same, right? Same theta, omega n minus 1 by 2, omega n minus, so this could be thought for theta, and we have this positive, okay. So e raised to j theta, e raised to j theta plus e raised to minus j theta, that will be 2 times of cos theta, right? So according to Euler's identity, this could be reduced to, and what is that? It's this is 2 cos this one, okay. So h of omega will be equal to e raised to minus j omega n minus 1 by 2 whole by 2, okay, not only for n, that's whole, by h of n minus 1 whole by 2 plus summation n equal to 0 to n minus 3 whole by 2, and we have that h of n. Now how to close this one? It's 2 times of cos this one, okay. So 2 over here, let that 2 is independent of that summation n, so plus 2 times summation n equal to this one. So this is cos, what is that? Cos n minus 1 whole by 2, close this one, omega, right? So close the big brackets, guys. This is the expression for h of omega. Now this one is the phase angle of this one. If we go for the polar form of this one, now this will be the magnitude h of omega will be equal to h of n minus 1 whole by 2, okay, plus 2 times summation n equal to 0 to n minus 3 whole by 2 into h of n cos. Some authors, omega will be over here, right? So according to my convenience, theta omega, like that one. So n minus 1 whole by 2 multiplied with omega. So this is the expression for the magnitude h of omega. So the phase angle h of omega will be this one, okay, minus of omega into n minus 1 by 2 will be the phase angle. Confused, guys? This could be, how could we go for this one? This again, splitting this into Euler's identity, what that will be? Exponential rise to minus j omega n minus 1 whole by 2, okay. This could be written as cos omega n minus 1 by 2 minus j sine omega n minus 1 whole by 2 according to Euler's identity, okay. And theta will be equal to theta tan inverse b by a, isn't it? Sine omega n minus 1 by 2 whole by cos omega n minus 1 by 2. Okay, it's a tan sine by cos, tan of this one. We have that negative, okay, negative over here. So that negative comes out. Tan inverse of tan, this gets cancelled. It's a tan completely. It's like tan inverse tan of minus omega n minus 1 by 2 by, I mean this is sine theta by cos theta tan theta. So this tan inverse tan gets cancelled. We are left with only this one, that will be the phase angle of h of omega. A very important expression to be looked back while designing FIR filters. Thanks for watching.